Thank you. Never changed.
All right, so Yusuf Ibrahim kicks it, and it's going to be picked up by, I believe, Gilroy, number 4. He had quite the game last week. I believe he had 2 receiving touchdowns, so they did not go with Barnes as much last week, so he got kind of rocked on this spot. So he's going to be in between the 25 and 30. So this is the number 7th ranked Atascocita Eagles taking on the number 1 Cleanup Park North Shore Mustangs, or just collectively called North Shore. So a phenomenal top 10 matchup. Atascocita earlier in the season wasn't a top 10 slugfest against Katy in Katy, second week of the season. Fortunately, lost 35 to 28 at the hands of Seth Davis. So here we go, Amador and company with Gilroy in motion towards the far side of the ball. They're going to hand it off to Baby Bo Jackson, also known as Rashad Johnson, and a phenomenal middle linebacker move by Ducos. So Ducos looked like he was honored earlier before the game with either some type of scholarship or recognition. So Ducos kind of mans up. He's definitely the middle linebacker or the MAC linebacker as it's told. So far side of the field, ball is about the 26-yard line. So we're looking for North Shore to see if they can get this momentum here on the road. Second to last game of the season, Almanor going for broke to Barnes, and he actually throws it in triple coverage. So Amador had a lot of confidence in his intended receiver, Christopher Barnes, as evidenced by the fact that Barnes, whether it was Bailey throwing it to him earlier in the season or Amador, he definitely is the wide receiver 1 on the team. So it's good to see. Looks like Thomas is back in the game. Looked like he suffered a minor injury last week. So Amador going to call his own number like he usually does. Going to go far side. So really seeing Atascocita Eagles really rallying to the ball, which is nice to see. That was number 10, Deion Campbell, the 5'11", 175-pound defensive back. So North Shore has had a top 10 matchup earlier in this season. That game was a lot of hype. Unfortunately, Westfield was not able to live up to that hype. North Shore kind of took care of business fairly handily. So we're going to see what happens this evening in Humble. George Turner, so Evan Jackson, short punt, going to take a favorable North Shore bounce, stiff arm by the ball carrier, and he's going to be between the 40 and 45. So Atascocita Eagles doing what a lot of teams are not able to do, which is making a team like North Shore go 3 and out. So we're going to see Zion Brown, the phenomenal quarterback. If everyone remembers the second game of the season, there's some form of miscues, shotgun formation between the center and himself. Other than that, they literally played a flawless game against Katy. Katy, I think, just had that home field or home cooking field advantage. So the Atascocita Eagles looking they're ready for attack here. So looks like shotgun formation for the quarterback, 5 in motion to the near side, then far side. So Brown handing the ball off to the running back, and he goes. It's a minimal gain, so that's going to be number 6. So that is Torrey Blaylock, the 5'10", 183-pound running back. So it looks like they have pretty good-sized running backs, 183 pounds, as well as Montgomery, who is 200 pounds. So 2 running backs in the 180 to 200-pound range. Of course, Hardiman and Johnson a little heavier across the board. So Brown shotgun formation, twins flanked out to either side of the field. Going to go play action, RPO style, and he's going to hand off to, I believe that's Blaylock for the second time. So 2nd and 8. We're going to see actually bringing up a 3rd down and 7 conversion. So very pivotal and important opportunity here for Zion Brown and company, Atascocita Eagles. So they're looking on the home side of the field, seeing what kind of play the offensive coordinator draws up / head coach. So Brown trips flank to the far side of the field. With now it is trips and then now twins to the near side. So Brown, 2-step drop out of the shotgun, gets a little bit of pressure, and he's going to throw it out. So great pressure there by number 19, who is going to be Dylan Dixon, the 6'1", 250-pound senior linebacker. So just like that, North Shore 3-and-out at Atascocita, mind you, 3-and-out. So this is very much a evenly matched chess piece slash chess game. So we're going to see how these teams kind of pair up across the board. Very much athletically across the board. Maybe North Shore might have a little bit more speed overall. So punt high with a lot of booming air there, and Jackson, who normally decides to take it, decides to let it hit the ground. So talking about top 10 and 6A, we got North Shore at 1. Austin Westlake is 2. So Austin Westlake, first 2 weeks of the season, was ranked first. Now they are second, and they've hung on to second for a majority of the season. So we got Duncanville at number 3. They take on DeSoto. So DeSoto versus Duncanville. I'm not sure if weather plays a factor, if they're going to be able to move it or they're going to play this and the other. So Amador handing off to Rashad Johnson. Johnson, not a whole lot of running room whatsoever. So Johnson very much wearing that number 34, reminiscent of a Bo Jackson or Earl Campbell, Ricky Williams type of back. He can catch also out of the backfield. A nice 1-2 punch. Hardiman and Rashad Johnson. So number 4 is South Lake Carroll, and then followed by Katy. Like we said, Katy earlier in the season narrowly escaped with a win. So pass there to Caleb Thomas on the wing there, Amador to Thomas. So this is going to bring up, we're going to see exactly where they're going to spot the ball overall. So Denton Geyer. So Denton Geyer, in my mind, they've really played a phenomenal season thus far. They played on national television, hosted Allen last week on ESPN2, and they really took care of business. So Amador handed the ball off to Rashad Johnson. Rashad Johnson, third down conversion. That was a 3rd and 2. Looks like he got it, so we're going to see. It looks like the chains will move. So ball now is at the 30. Amador and company. Barnes is in the game. Like I said, Caleb Thomas back in there. Good to see him back on the field as he sat out a remainder of the second half last week against the Wildcats. Amador shotgun formation. Rashad Johnson looking for the ball, but instead Amador going to call his own number. He's literally just going to run. That is the 3-star wideout, 3-star prospect. He's, I believe, verbally committed to UTSA, the San Antonio, the Roadrunners down the road. So obviously he's a hybrid running back, or slash, yeah, he does a lot of running back duties as well as quarterback, and he was a former receiver. Receiver looks to be more of his college position overall, but we're really seeing the versatility and athleticism and depth in Amador being able to quarterback this team after Bailey unfortunately went down earlier in the season, had the ball off to Rashad Johnson. Rashad Johnson doing a great job, and like I said, that middle linebacker Ducos, that's probably their number 1 player on defense. Just a phenomenal player. I've been able to see him throughout the season, 5'10", 205-pound senior. So hopefully he can play at the next level. So Amador shotgun formation, they are in Atascocita territory. So trips flank to the far side, play action, and then Amador going to go over the top, and instead he's going to overthrow his intended receiver, and that is Barnes. So Barnes, definitely the speedster overall, but I guess you could say fortunately or unfortunately at receiver he is 5'8". If he was a little, say had a few more inches overall, he'd probably have more offers overall. But from what I've seen this year, this guy really plays outside of his physical space. Just a phenomenal wide receiver, a great 1-2 punch there with Gilroy from last week. So Amador, 3rd and 6, play action. He's going to call his own number, and Atascocita doing a great job, but we're going to see where forward progress was met. So Amador was able to move the chain. So great job there by Amador. So Amador, definitely, if you're comparing Amador to Bailey, Amador more of that lanky type of athlete. Bailey definitely probably has 10 pounds overall. So we're all looking forward and praying that Caleb Bailey has a phenomenal recovery going into his junior season. So Barnes in motion towards the near side of the field, shotgun. He's going to hit Barnes, number one receiver, and he's going to go make one move. A few players miss, but like I said earlier, so the Eagles really doing a great job of swarming to that football. So this is going to bring up, not really, okay, so they're going to give him 1 yard overall. So not real big plays or, looks like Eagles are doing a great job of limiting North Shore. North Shore kind of used to just taking it to the teams that they played the past few weeks. So RPO going to hand off to Johnson. And there's a fumble there, and that is actually going to be a Atascocita Eagle football. So phenomenal job there by the Eagles. Like I said, not easily intimidated are the Eagles, as they have done great so far this season. So that's Kissian Parker, the 6'1", 205-pound senior linebacker. So great job, great field position. So Atascocita Eagles, like I said, if they would have had most likely that home game against Katy, like I said, 9 times out of 10, I would have had Atascocita over Katy. Literally, it was one of those fluke situations in which Katy was able to beat them, but I actually think that was better for the Eagles to have for the rest of the season, a little chip on their shoulder. So Brown with trips flank to the near side of the field. Now I think that's Blaylock in motion, and he's going to go with the speed. And that DB literally knew he was blazed, and that would have went for a touchdown if it would have connected. So that was Jamari Green. That was actually number 11, which is Jarvin Coles, 5'9", 185-pound, kind of a hybrid linebacker DB. But when you saw Blaylock versus that gentleman, definitely a mismatch overall. So Zion Brown overall, so shotgun formation, 43-yard line. So Brown going to pitch it out to Blaylock. Blaylock going to take his time and do a great job of getting out of bounds. There is a flag on the field, so we're going to see exactly what they're going to call that on overall. That's Torrey Blaylock with the run. Okay, so automatic first down. So North Shore making some mistakes here early on. So Atascocita having the North Shore Mustangs against the ropes, uncharacteristically against the ropes. North Shore not used to kind of playing prevent style. So Atascocita Eagles just showing that determination, showing that they are not backing down. Very proud of this young squad here. So Brown shotgun formation. Twins flanked on the near side of the field. One wideout flank to the far side. Brown doing a great job eluding pressure. And he is going to go, unfortunately not able to connect with number 5. And that is going to go to Kieran Lee, the 5'8", 165-pounder. So, like I said, Brown doing a great job of eluding pressure, but unfortunately was unable to connect there. So that is going to bring up a 2nd and 10 opportunity for Brown and company. Okay, Twins flanked far side, one on the near side. Brown and company, running back flank to either side, play action. Brown going to go over the top. There was some exchange of feet contact there, but no pass interference. So that's the standout safety, I guess you'd call him, Javen Anderson. So a phenomenal young man, 6'1", 205-pounder. So definitely going to see that guy playing on Saturdays. So Brown looking at the kind of the field general and the OC / head coach. So Atascocita Eagles kind of reminiscent of like an Auburn style pattern overall. So Brown going to get shotgun. He's going to roll towards his non-dominant side, and he's going to elude pressure. That would have been a phenomenal grab there at 15. Fortunately for North Shore, that's number 10. Jarvin Cole's doing a great job of getting his hands in there. So like I was saying earlier, so Atascocita Eagles kind of similar in color-wise, at least to Auburn. So you have kind of like War Eagle style. They have navy blue tops, white pants. Looks like a white helmet with kind of like that orange auburn orange type across the mid stripe, navy blue overall stripe on either side. Looks like they have an eagle on both sides of the helmet. So it's going to bring up a 4th and 10 opportunity. They're going to punt. So unfortunately, and then, like I said, Javen Anderson, one of the big players, threw him down to the turf. So previously last week he did a bit of a souffle. So glad that was not called for any excessiveness. So great job there by Anderson being Johnny on the spot. So North Shore now, like I said, if they were against the ropes, they are now putting Atascocita at the ropes. So 5:14 to go, first quarter, 0-0 tie. So great, phenomenal matchup. You gotta love when these top 10 matchups in 6A live up to the hype. Okay, so Amador and company essentially at midfield, shotgun formation, going to hand the ball off to Mika Hardiman, doing a great job. And unfortunately, Atascocita Eagles doing a great job, like I mentioned earlier, just rallying to that football. So North Shore just has not played the caliber of defense that Atascocita is tonight. So like I said, very well evenly matched. So Spring Westfield, even though North Shore took care of them earlier in the season, they are still ranked 10th in 6A. Going to hand the ball off Hardiman. Hardiman with a phenomenal set of wheels. He is going on the outside, speed to burn, and he is going inside outside, and he is going to cut in between the 15 and 10. So that is the backup running back, ladies and gentlemen, and that is DeAndre Hardiman. He's a sophomore, so that phenomenal sophomore class, that is North Shore. You got to add Hardiman in there, and of course when Bailey is able to recover from that knee injury next year, they are going to be very much a junior-dominated class overall. So Amador going to go to Hardiman. So not even giving Hardiman a break, but great job there by the Eagles defense. So looks like I said, Hardiman probably might need a little bit of a breather, but they might keep him in as well. Okay, so Amador going to go RPO to Hardiman. So literally 3 plays in a row going to Hardiman. And Hardiman might have broken the 10-yard pylon, not exactly sure. So that's going to bring up a 3rd and 10 situation. So literally at about the 2-yard line, they're able to get 4 more downs if they do that. So very much a all-important 3rd down conversion opportunity. So Hardiman's still in the game. Barnes, that number 1 receiver in the slot, he is in motion towards the near side of the field. So Amador going left side, going to flick it to Hardiman. So literally Hardiman 4 plays in a row, and he's going to get close to the 5-yard line. So I would imagine that this is going to be an interesting decision here by North Shore. Do you go for it, or do you set up the extra point / field goal? It looks like they're going to go for the field goal, so they are going to play conservative here, close to the vest. So this is going to be number 80 for North Shore. That is going to be Carlos Dominguez. So you have Dominguez and Soto kind of go back and forth sometimes between kickoff and field goal duties. So that is going to be good for the field goal. So that's going to bring 3-0 is the score. North Shore Mustangs on top with 2:31 to go in this first quarter. I think a lot of people were kind of speculating to see exactly how high scoring this game was going to be, but it's going to be one of those game of defenses. So we're going to see exactly how it goes. Could go back and forth, trading shot for short, and then eventually they might be able to whichever team gets the momentum might kind of open it up overall. So kickoff opportunity, this is going to be Dominguez once again. He's going to kick it, and it is going to go to about the 23-yard line for the Atascocita Eagles, and he is going to go towards midfield, so get towards about the 30, so somewhat decent field position overall. So that looked like that was number 5. That was Kieran Lee, the 5'8", 165-pound receiver. So Brown on the shotgun, trips flanked to the near side of the field. They're going to hand the ball off, and he's in a misdirection Blaylock, and he's going to get brought out of bounds. So that was number 6. So kind of very tall and long Devin Sanchez, 6'2", 175-pounder. Okay, so ball at the 31, so near side hash. So Brown and company, they're all looking at their wristbands to see what play they're going to execute. One receiver flanked on either side, little shift in movement for the North Shore Mustang defense. So kind of a little bit of a RPO. Ooh, and Javen Anderson almost took it to the house. So you're not exactly wanting to leave that football in the air for that young man. So you can tell he was licking his chops, getting ready to take it for a pick 6 potentially. Luckily for the Atascocita Eagles, it did not happen that way. So ball's still at the, say, 30.5-yard line. So about the 31. So 3rd and 10 opportunity. So we're going to see what takes place for this 3rd down. So we are getting a Blaylock in motion towards the near side of the field. Brown with the flag on the field, free shot potentially, and he is unable to connect. So like I said, usually at the vicinity of where they choose to put this flag could be holding. So we're going to see exactly what they're going to do. So it is going to be declined. The penalty was on Atascocita. So sometimes you'll see a team decline it, so that way they don't have to replay the down. So North Shore is going to get the ball in most likely fairly decent field position. So Evan Jackson at the 40-yard line. So the punter for the Eagles, he's set up at about the 15-yard line. So booming punt. Jackson is just going to let it go. And it looks like it's going to go kind of around the 25-yard line. So we're going to see exactly where they place that football. Okay, so ball is going to be at the 24-yard line. So it looks like Amador and company, twins flanked to the far side of the field. One on the near side. So Amador with one running back flank to his side. That's going to be, I believe, Rashad Johnson back in the football game. He does a lot of north to south running, but for a guy his size, close to 215 pounds, he also does a lot of east and west running as well. So Johnson with a 7-yard run there. Great job for him overall. Twins flank to the near side of the field. They're going to hand the ball off to Johnson. So still just really resisting any possibility going down to the turf. He finally goes down the turf with about 2 or 3. Atascocita Eagles on his back. So 3rd and 3. So big 3rd and 3 here for North Shore. North Shore on top 3-0. And the score with under 30 seconds as it continues to run. This could be the last play potentially for this first quarter. So Amador with Twins flanked to the far side of the field. Looks like Barnes in the slot. So Amador going to hand the ball off, and this is going to go for most likely the first down. So we're going to see actually, okay, yeah, so they are going to call that a first down conversion. So that is the end of the first quarter. 3-0 is the score. North Shore on top over at Atascocita.